Welcome to Wanaka, New Zealand, one of the most beautiful places in the world, and the place that I get to call home.
Hi, my name is Angelo Giorgiali. I'm a restaurateur, and I love the outdoors, and I'm crazy about cooking.
I've spent 25 years of my life working in kitchens, setting up restaurants.
That gave me my foundation to food.
But I've put all that behind me, and now my restaurant is the outdoors.
Because obviously we don't have a studio here. This is our studio.
Not only my studio, but also my playground.
Yeah, look at that. Outstanding.
I'm a professionally trained archer, so I like to catch food the traditional way.
I hunt for a reason, I don't hunt for trophy. If I was a pig, I'll be under a bush having a sleep.
And earlier this year, I decided to move to the South Island of New Zealand and start doing what I love most. Hunting.
Yes, got it.
Fishing.
Oh, we're on, we got one.
And cooking.
I'm actually quite emotional about this. This is brilliant.
Game meat has become extremely popular in restaurants across the world. The hardest part is cooking it to perfection. Each week, I'll be targeting a different animal and showing you how to cook 3 of my favorite recipes. So, welcome to my world.
And welcome to the Game Chef.
New Zealand is located in the Southern Hemisphere, in the South Pacific. It is made up of 2 islands, and in the South Island is where you'll find the Southern Alps, and most importantly, Wanaka. Today, we're after salmon. I love salmon. It is my favorite fish. And today we're fishing at Lake Hawea. Usually salmon are caught by trawling on a boat, but I'll be fishing from the shoreline with a spinning rod. And have I got some awesome salmon dishes coming up. If we are lucky enough to lure salmon, I'm going to make a burger with a Moorish hollandaise, dill and lemon dressing. Using an easy smoking technique, I'll make a flavoursome hot-smoked salmon risotto. And the best omelette you've ever tasted using salmon, asparagus and tarragon butter. Let's see what lures we've got. Salmon generally like bright colours. With these bright coloured things, this would really annoy them. The salmon would just attack that real bright lure and go, right, I want you, yum, 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 yum. Let's see what we can do here. Salmon are very fast fish. They can outswim a lure. Oh, just had a take. That is a great sign. Oh, we're on. We got one. Oh, brilliant. Oh, it's a good one too. Yeah. Woohoo! Fresh Lake Hawea salmon. I'm looking forward to showing you guys the dishes that I'm going to create with this beautiful fish. The picturesque Glendine Station, which nestles here on Lake Hawea, is where I'll set up my outdoor kitchen today.
Another day in the office. No better place in the world to be. My smoker. Bruno, come. My little dog, Bruno. My little hunting dog.
First up, we have a salmon omelette with asparagus and tarragon butter.
Here's our salmon we caught. This is a typical Lake Hawea salmon. They don't get much bigger than this. They're very sweet, tender, and beautiful eating. So, first thing we need to do is fillet our salmon. We're gonna need about 150 grams. That line of bones that run down the middle. Cut it right out. And we're gonna grab the skin and then pull it and let the knife do the work. We've got our salmon. Next thing we do some tarragon butter. So we're gonna grab some tarragon, break off some leaves. That's gonna go really, really well with the salmon, that tarragon. It's quite aniseedy. So we're gonna take a tablespoon of tarragon. What we'll do is grab our butter, about half a tablespoon, and we'll let that melt. 1 garlic clove, This is gonna make a really nice breakfast. I need all the energy I can get. Because I hunt and fish a lot, I do need to regenerate that muscle. Protein like fish, meat, you can't beat it. Right, as you can see, the tarragon's in there with some garlic, a tablespoon of butter. We're gonna let the butter sort of turn to that nutty brown color. We'll grab some cheese. So this is aged and smoked. If you're out camping and you've got a smoker and you've only got a block of normal cheddar or whatever it may be, you can actually smoke it yourself. But you've got to really, really watch the temperature, as in you probably want to smoke it right at the end when it's actually just cooling off. Okay, so we've got about 2 tablespoons of smoked cheese, 3 eggs. I like to use organic eggs. So get a bowl, drop our eggs in. 1, 2, 3. Give those a bit of a whisk. Okay, good. See how it's browned off? See how the butter has got that sort of browny sort of color? That's what we want to achieve. So in goes the eggs. About 150 grams of salmon. The salmon's gonna cook in there, but it's just gonna cook real light. It's almost like making a pizza in a pan. That's our smoked cheese. Smoked cheese is a bit more intense and a lot more flavoursome. We'll grab some tomatoes. Even more special. Right, bit of salt and pepper. This will give it lovely colour as well as freshness. Fold it over slightly. I'm just going to let that run off a little bit. I love using Parmesan on my omelettes. Tuck some chives in here. Check it out, it's looking really good. Plate that on there for now and let that rest. Next, cook off our asparagus. Slice the asparagus. Get a knob of butter in it. Another bit of garlic. Salmon and asparagus. These 2 ingredients go really, really well together. In with the asparagus. You don't have to slice it, you can put it in whole if you like. You can stuff the omelette if you like, but I'm gonna have it on the side. Those will be my greens for this morning. Right, I don't want to overcook these, I just want them slightly crisp. Nearly there. It's a simple dish to make. Now, I think that looks amazing. There we have it, folks, at home. Breakfast time here at Lake Harweir. It's time to tuck in. My favourite time. Wow, that combination works extremely well with the creamy richness of the salmon combined with the smokiness of that cheddar cheese and Parmesan and the tarragon butter. Wow, what a winner. It's just the produce, it's there, you know?
Coming up, how to hot smoke salmon. You will love the flavors and it's so easy to achieve. I'm here in Lake Harweir in the stunning South Island of New Zealand. Earlier this morning, I managed to catch a beautiful salmon. Oh, we're on. We got one. Which is the focus of my menu today. Next, a flavor-packed hot smoked salmon risotto.
What do we need? Salmon, obviously.
I need to gather some fuel for the smoker. I'm surrounded by New Zealand manuka, also known as tea tree, which will give my salmon a fragrant, smoky flavour.
So, I've got my branches here, fresh leaves on there as well. Smells great.
About a handful of branches is perfect for a smoker of this size.
That should do the job. So let's prepare the salmon for the smoker. Garlic, 1 clove crushed. Give it a chop chop. How's that smoky stuff happening? So I'm not going to bother skinning it.
Just lightly score the skin and stuff the roughly chopped garlic in there, followed by some dill and a squeeze of lemon.
Salt and pepper. Actually, we'll use lemon pepper. That's going to go really well with it. Lemon pepper. That's smoking away. Bed of tea tree or manuka. as we like to call it in New Zealand. Smoke for me like you've never smoked before. Right, brilliant. Let that smoke away for about 10, 15 minutes and then we'll check on it. I love making risotto. I'm half Italian, my mother's Italian, and she used to often make risotto for my family. And every time I cook it, it brings back lovely memories of my mother, God bless her. Right, we need some butter in there. As you can see, I've pre-melted this butter using my microwave up here, the sun. And we're gonna drop 1, 2, 3, 4 tablespoons of butter. Now, watch the transformation of the butter from that yellowy, rich colour to that caramelised, nutty brown. That's the actual colour you want. So we'll leave that off the heat because that's done its job. We'll grab 1 shallot, a lot sweeter than an onion. Let's put this butter back on the heat. Take a lovely clove of garlic. Okay. Right, time for the risotto. 300 grams of arborio rice. We're going to toss the risotto, and that risotto is going to absorb all the juices from the butter and the shallots and the garlic. Check the colours. Okay, this is really, really crucial. You never want to let your risotto dry out. Lots of liquid, this kind of liquid. White wine. Wow. Look at the sound. Hear the sound of that. Check out the bubbliness. Hubbly bubbly, lovely, lovely. Don't want to let your risotto dry out, so always add in liquid throughout the cooking process. Really important. It needs a bit more. I think I need a bit more too. Oh, outstanding. See how it's starting to dry out now? It's moments like this that you really need to look out for. I've got a litre of fish stock here. We'll just let that arborio rice absorb the fish stock and also the white wine and let it bubble away. Okay. Right, she's starting to thicken up again. See how it's drying out? This is the difference between letting the risotto catch on the bottom or adding liquid to it so it doesn't catch. Never walk away from a risotto, ever. We need some more wine. You could probably use up to 1.5 glasses to 2 glasses of wine. Let's try a tiny bit of that. We're just about there. We've got some mascarpone cheese, 3 tablespoons in there, 2 tablespoons of Parmesan, that's powdered, zest the lemon. Toss that in. Now some dill. I'm going to just roughly chop that as rustic as I can. It's a very fragrant herb. Off it goes. So, salmon. Let's get the salmon. Let's have a look at it.
It cooked for 10 minutes, and then I let it rest for a good 15 minutes.
That's exactly how I want it. See how it's not raw? It's just slightly cooked right through, but it's been sitting there for quite a while. It's slowly hot smoked, and that's the thing about risotto. It takes time, it takes a lot of attention, a lot of love, and that's what we've achieved so far with this dish. So we'll take the skin off. Look at that, just peels off the bone. Wild and beautiful, just like this risotto. And the heat of that risotto is going to cook that salmon through just a wee bit more. This salmon's given me a bit of energy. Woo! Okay, let's plate that up. Hot smoked salmon risotto. Just going to stack a bit more salmon on top. Bit of dill. Lemon zest. Wow, that's looking great. It's time for that taste test. I tell you, I've really worked my magic today. Here we go. The smokiness from the salmon, and because I slowly cooked it with that hot manuka, it's kept all its juices, so it's really moist. And the zestiness of the risotto just works extremely well. Right, salmon dish number 3 is next.
Seriously, the best burger you've ever tasted coming up. Don't miss out. Follow us on Facebook /TheGameChefNZ and look out for the book that accompanies the series in your local bookstore. The Game Chef, for all my recipes and more. This morning, I caught a salmon at Lake Harweir in the Southern Alps of New Zealand. And so far today, I've used its creamy flesh to make a gorgeous salmon omelette. A flavour-packed, hot-smoked salmon risotto, and now one of my most favourite meals, my version of a seafood burger. You won't taste better than this, seriously.
All we need, 2 juicy pieces of salmon. Okay, I've cleaned them, taken the scales off. We're good to go. We need a bowl, extra virgin olive oil. Look at the colour of that. It's gorgeous. Lemon pepper. This is like a lemon pepper seasoning, probably about a teaspoon. So that's going to add a bit more saltiness and flavour. Next, lemon zest. Adds a bit of zing, probably about half a lemon. In goes half a lemon. And that lemon will start the cooking process. You can use lime. If you haven't got lime and you haven't got lemon, you can use orange. As long as it's zesty and it's got all that acid in there, it should work. Kiwi fruit works as well. So we're gonna let that sit, marinate for a few minutes. Dill. Dill really works for salmon. Always has, always will. Just roughly chop that. Here we go. Right, garlic. I reckon just 1 clove of garlic. I'm just gonna slice it up. Is Bruno under there? Bruno's having a bit of an afternoon rest, aren't you, darling? You can actually see the colour of the salmon changing, and it's getting quite opaque. The lemon juice is actually starting to cook the meat. Next, hollandaise. Hollandaise can be a bit tricky. First of all, we need some hot water. Yep, right, time. Eggs. I like to use organic free-range eggs. These are local because we only need the egg yolks. So we need to get rid of those egg whites. Open the eggshell. Let the egg white drop out of it. Tip it over into the empty shell and the egg white will just drop out. You want as least egg white in there as possible. Into a bowl, you have 3 egg yolks. We're gonna add some lemon pepper, some red wine vinegar, about half a tablespoon. And we literally put the bowl in the water and we start whisking the egg yolks until they start to thicken, you see? Just take your time, it's no rush. Now, depending on the consistency of the hollandaise you're trying to achieve, the thicker the egg yolk, as in more heat, more time, the thicker the hollandaise. I want it on a nice medium consistency. That thick. See that? That's what you want. That sort of silky, stringy. Ooh, look at that. Beautiful. That's going to be a lovely hollandaise. Now, this is the tricky part, adding the butter to the hollandaise. We're going to pour some butter into this little cast iron dish here. And we're going to pour in the butter real slow. And hopefully it won't split. Now, what I mean by that, the fat in the butter separating from the rest of the sauce. Pour a little bit in, work the whisk in, stop. And to that, I'm going to add some zest of lemon. Squeeze the lemon, probably about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. Outstanding, but we need some dill. That fragrance will release from the dill. That looks like a really good hollandaise. Time for the salmon. On it goes. Get that skin nice and crispy. Now I suggest around 4 to 5 minutes on each side. It's a premium fish. You can see why. The environment it lives in, these glacier waters here, absolutely crystal clear, pristine. Anyway, I think it's time to flip these over. Okay, it's time to plate this up, but before we plate it up, what do we need to do? Toast our buns. Ciabatta is Italian-style bread. or slice that in half, slightly toast it. Right, salad. Cucumber. Shave our cucumber, leaving the seeds in the middle. Sliced juicy tomato. Soft, ripened avocado. Okay, let's plate it up. Okay. Perfectly toasted. It's just how I like it. Salmon's cooked through, lovely. Bit of hollandaise on the base. On goes our cucumber. Layering things is really important because you get the texture and the flavors. Tomato, avocado, lemon pepper, bit of salmon. Bit more tomato, avocado. Last bit of salmon on there. Get that crispy skin. Beautiful hollandaise on top. Oh, it's all coming together. Wow, check that out. Little zest of lemon on top. There we have it, folks. I am pretty wrapped with that one. It's my favorite time. Here we go. Let's hook into this. Absolutely gorgeous, delicious, fresh, and that beautiful, rich, glacier-fed salmon, so tender and moist. That truly is a fantastic alternative for a burger. It's definitely a must try. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.